Alright, everybody, welcome to another installment of ESO Housing Open and Honest, where the houses are usually open and our opinions are definitely honest. I'm Wonderboy,
I'm Hetera Taste,
and today we are at Stay Moist Mansion.
which is super adorable. Like, just the name of it. I'm glad they went with it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Probably makes some people uncomfortable, but I think it's fantastic.
I'm uncomfortable too if I can't take care of it.
Fair enough. And this house costs how much again?
Something like 5,500 crowns and then 6,500 crowns, and I think 760,000 gold.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I think it was 5569. Yeah, 5500 and then 6900 and then yeah, 700. Yeah. What she said sounds right. And if it's not right, it's not our fault. So anyway,
Numbers are hard.
Numbers are very hard. I totally could have made another joke there, but I'm not going to.
So this house, not a lot of people buy it because, it's like a poop house that was made out of like poop and not water and stuff. I think that's how they do it. At least that's how they do traditionally in like Africa and everything. But it's probably made from guar dung, would be my guess. But I actually really like it, and I really like what they did with this place.
Yeah, it looks good, and I think just in general compared to other houses, it's fairly unique. Argonian style is, for the most part, it's a style it's kind of hard to get into for a lot of people, but I think this particular house has a certain charm to it.
And they spent a lot of time with the garden, like really interesting, like nice looking garden. Little details.
Yep. Little details go a long way.
And they got their 4 guars. I wonder how many pets and stuff you can add to this place. Because whatever it is, it's not enough.
Yeah, that's going to be the case in every single house. We can see six right from where I'm standing. I see the tuxedo, Bardvark in the distance, the Netch, and then these 4 guar. So there's at least that many. So if I had to guess, it might be 8 in here, or it might be the 6. But in any case, so if we observe that the house is made out of guar dung, then these are essentially the house builders here.
So I want to go back here first because I love it. Like, they made the tarps work. They're really ugly, kind of trashy looking tarps. Well, besides the fact that this one's floating. But other than that, I love that they put a little scuttler under there, and it looks like a little place like a kid would go out and like hang out with his scuttler.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the float's a little bit rough. All they had to do is move a mushroom or a tree or two, and but yeah, it looks good. Nice use of rocks and planks here.
It's a very smooth transition.
Yeah.
And it's the one place like using the kind of shitty planks works because it makes sense here.
Yep, fits in with the natural kind of guar dung, shitty look of things.
Ambiance.
Yeah, that's the word. Words are hard too. So these crates, I really, really dig all these crates. Stacked, obeying the basic laws of physics and whatnot. Looks really good.
And the tarp here is done perfectly.
Yes, it is. So kudos to the decorator of this house for doing that.
And they spent a lot of time hanging up this lantern.
Yeah, that's really well done. It's the rope is like perfectly touching the edge of the tree, totally believable. Like there could totally be a nail in there, and then the
no clipping.
No clipping. So they were really careful with that, which is really nice to see because we see lots of clipping and we see lots of floating just about everywhere we go. And then this lantern is just so terribly floating. We're gonna have to take that compliment back. We're not entirely convinced that they did that on purpose anymore.
Well, they probably spent 15 minutes trying to get that other one perfect, and they worked on this for a while, and then they just walked away from their computer because it was frustrating. Because I personally know how long that shit can take.
Yeah, it's sad and a little bit funny at the same time. And then this lamp is, again. So the person who decorated was a one lamp wonder.
But they're very good with tarps. Mostly, sorta.
They were a one tarp wonder too, I guess, actually. So they'll get every decoration right once, and then every other time all bets are off. But overall, so far, like the outside looks like really good. I mean, I don't know how much of the plant life was moved or added, but
a ton.
A lot of
yeah,
it,
I was just in here right before we started, and this is totally their own. They made it their own.
Totally like the Dreamer spider tucked back in the corner as well.
I agree. The only thing I would do is this large jungle plant, I would have pulled it down farther. To give it even more of a jungle sort of like there's tons of life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because, I mean, as is, like, you really have to look up to kind of even see the actual stuff that's actually going on with it. Yeah, pulling it down would have improved the atmosphere. So in here, I kind of like the clotheslines all over the place, even though they kind of disobey physics because of the way they hang. But
do you know what they remind me of? Like immediately as soon as I come in here, and I hope that that's what they were going for. They remind me of the prayer strings. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Like Buddhism, like Nepal, Tibetan. You'll see them like all over the place. If you ever see them like the Himalayas and any of like that, those called like Nepal, India, Tibet, those areas. Like there's even some in China. But they're totally Google prayer strings.
Well, I think visually I know exactly what you're talking about. I just didn't know what they were. Once you mention all those places and in this context, it starts to make sense to me visually. And yeah, I mean it's possible that could be what's going on there. I'm a little. There's some oddness with these clotheslines and the lantern that's hanging from them, but that aside, it's the only thing I would change is like I really like the fact that they're using these ferns and stuff and the Argonian lattices. I might have just added some ivy to give it a more believable thing. And there are some floating stuff there, but I actually do like the effect that it gives. And I'm pretty sure because they did do little details that I love, they're hitting the item limit, hands down. Yeah, I'm sure. Item limit in this house is probably
400.
400, yeah.
Would be my guess, yeah.
Yeah.
My guess is they did the lattice, they bought a whole bunch of like ferns, they totally built that up, it was totally full of ferns and it was gorgeous, and then they realized they couldn't do anything else.
Yep,
that's sad.
Sounds believable.
And now they've got 4 in-rooms full of ferns.
Yep. So in the center here, we've got the Mnemic egg replica and its little holder thing. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the blessing stones.
just floating? Yeah, I don't either.
Because normally I'm okay with like the enchanted light type things floating, but in the case of the blessing stones, they have a holder made for them, and when we see them out in the wild, so to speak, they're always in the holder. So I don't think that they can be floating, and I just don't see what purpose they're serving in here at all. I don't feel like they're actually doing a lot for the lighting.
They're giving some light off, but this is the time when you put those inside. You hide them and you let the light come out.
Yep, I absolutely agree.
I mean, the vast majority of any of those shards that I use, you don't actually see the shards, but you get the light from them.
Yep.
I do like this little place, though. Oh, look at how many coins they put over there.
Oh wow, that is a lot of coins that are actually floating, and books that are totally floating. Well, that is a lot of coins. I do like the amount of coins. I like the way that looks. They did stack some on top of each other too, which they did the stacking on top of each other relatively well. But
man, there's so many people that just move your mouse down, just move it down and look, and you can see.
Yeah.
Because the actual stacking is really cool looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're watching this and this is your house, just, do what you see us doing here. Move your mouse, move your camera, and you'll see what we're talking about. Because everything's looking, from top down, everything looks fantastic. And just in general, the whole concept and everything that's going on here is great. Just stuff needs to sit where it's supposed to sit.
Those are the type of stools I'll make during the zombie apocalypse.
That makes sense. I mean, making stools out of whatever is around. So we've got one more area of the house to view, which is the upstairs, which we access from around back.
I did not go to this one yet. Oh, by the way, when I was visiting the furnished and unfurnished version, you'll have to check it out up here. It is so bad, how the Zos made it, the furnished version. there's the Argonian bookshelves, and there's paintings inside of them.
That
clipping completely through 3 levels.
That's really bad and not at all surprising. So I really, really like what they did up along the top of the room with the busts.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, they've got those really well placed, and it really works, and it's something different. It's not the same old thing that most people do with the busts. I'll also wager that they probably did that prior to them adding the wall trophies in, so it was kind of their way of accomplishing that effect before that it was actually available. Do you have any idea what this golden chunk of statue or whatever is? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Isn't it from... Let me check.
Oh, that's gonna be a trial boss, isn't it?
I think it's the Atronach. It's from Arthurian Archive.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
But yeah, I like this place. I actually really, really dig it. I love the prayer strings. If that's what you're going for, rock on. I totally got it.
And if that's not what you're going for, it still looks good. So, nice work. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Ooh, this lantern is fairly well done. Sort of, kind of. I mean, it's in there. It's
it sucks that it doesn't swing anymore like it used to because Zos broke it.
Oh, that actually used to swing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that makes a difference. Although that might have hurt them on the one that's just perfectly placed against the tree too.
That's true.
So that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was just random, like, happenstance. That's just where it stopped or whatever when they changed it. So, but yeah, nice work on this house. Just a little bit of floating and stuff, but all the concepts and the visuals are really, really great. So if this is your house and you're watching, nice job. And we will see you next week.